With the weather outside, it's a little cooler out, but it still can be a danger to your pets. They can be anxious, certainly, with all the weather that we've been experiencing, but also things certainly will be heating up soon. This morning we have Sarah with the Wichita Animal Action League to share more of just things that we need to think about with the weather that we're experiencing. And I feel so bad, like my dog, I have a little dog, and he kind of, it's just sort of sad. He just sort of whines a little bit. And I'm just like, what do I need to do?
Yes.
What do I need to do?
Storm anxiety is super common. I myself have a dog that is not happy with the storm. So when it's storming, he's not sleeping, which means I'm not sleeping.
Sure.
So I'm running on a lot and right now.
That's okay. Are there things that we can do though to help make them
So
feel
I'm
better?
a huge fan of thunder shirts.
Yeah.
And the thing with the thunder shirts that I've experienced is you have to put it on them before they get anxious, because once they're anxious, you've really kind of crossed that threshold.
Sure.
If your animal has really bad anxiety, definitely visit with your veterinarian about getting them some anti-anxiety meds or maybe some super easy sedatives to give at the time. But as far as storm preparedness, if you have a basement, make sure that you're setting up a kennel in your basement. Make sure that your animals have on collars with tags or they're microchipped, so if the worst does happen and they're running around the streets afterwards, people know who they are and how to get them back to you.
And it's always good to have items for them too, in addition to those, like food, water for them. We say, a gallon of water per day per person, so that's what? For at least 3 days, so 3 gallons for them. You want some for your pets too.
Definitely.
Things to just keep everyone safe.
Definitely.
And
Yeah,
fed.
if you have a basement, it's a really good idea just to have a backup stash down there all the time, so that in the moment when you're crazy and you're running around at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get yourself safe, you don't have to worry about that.
Always important reminders. But even though it's cool out, it still can be a danger for pets even out in the weather. I mean, if we're talking about 80 degrees and such, having them with us in our vehicles and stuff,
Sure.
It's really not a good idea at all.
And the humidity afterwards is really, really dangerous for pets when they're in cars.
Sure.
So last year, a law went into effect that makes it legal for a citizen to break a window if someone or something is in a car and is in immediate distress. So the rules of that law are you do have to call law enforcement. Obviously, if you have time, if you come up on a car and an animal or a child is already unconscious,
right,
do what you have to do and then call law enforcement. My biggest advice is take pictures, take videos. I carry tools in my car. So this is a window brake that you can buy on Amazon for super cheap. Just tap it against the window and it kind of shatters.
Yeah.
Be careful after you shatter a window. You never know what state that animal's going to be in. If it's friendly, be super careful. Make sure that you're staying safe.
Sure.
I also carry a temperature gun just for extra protection for me if I do ever have to break someone's window. It's an auto or a car thermometer. It has a little laser, so you can point it inside the car and take an internal temperature of the car. It's just better documentation. If you ever do have to go in front of a judge, you can say, look, I took a temperature of the car. It was 140 degrees inside.
You probably want to take a picture of that while in front of it, just so,
Yes.
extra, all the documentation, the better.
Yes.
But it's good to have those laws, though, in place to go and protect animals. And also, kids, too, obviously. We want everyone to be safe, but it's scary.
It is. So, we've done just kind of curiosity, just walking around parking lots, temping cars. And I let my car sit for 5 minutes in the middle of July with the windows down under a tree. And even in 5 minutes, the internal temperature of my car was up over 130 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
So windows down makes zero difference. Parking in the shade makes zero difference. So dogs that are built for Arctic weather, your Huskies, Malamutes, St. Bernards, dogs with double layer or triple layer coats, those dogs sometimes have literal minutes before they're in heat stroke. And then the smushy face dogs, boxers, French bulldogs, pugs, those guys already have a hard time regulating their temperatures.
Right.
So they're at, extreme danger of overheating quickly.
Good reminders, of course, for everyone. If we want to learn more about the Wichita Animal Action League, where should we go to?
Go online to our website at wallrescue.org. There's a link to foster, to adopt, to donate. Our event tab is there. There's a link to our Facebook page. If you have a concern this summer with a neighbor who might need extra help taking care of their dog, maybe they need a dog house, their dog's on a chain, it doesn't have adequate water supply, and you just want someone to stop by and offer them some non-judgmental assistance, you can fill out what we call a welfare check on our website, and we'll be happy to go and talk to that owner for you.
Great service right there, Sarah.
Yes.
We really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, we'll be right back with more right here on GMK.